Hello, welcome to week 7 of the Nintendo Switch 2 Countdown. We are now just 4 weeks away from the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct. Kind of crazy to believe, but in just under a month we will have already seen it. We'll hopefully know all the details of launch and release date, pricing, all of that, and of course all the games, which is what we've been talking about. This week, with Mario Day approaching, we're going to be talking about Mario on the console, specifically 3D Mario and what else we might see on the console, as well as what we might get specifically on Monday for Mario Day, if anything. So let's get into that. So Monday is March 10th, which has, I think it started as a fan thing, become Mario Day, as in March, and they are 10th on Mario. But Nintendo themselves are using it now. Maybe they did come up with it. But this year could potentially be a special one because it is the 40th anniversary of Mario, which is usually when they'll do a lot. For the 35th, they didn't do anything specifically on Mario Day for the anniversary. They actually waited until September. But then also COVID was hitting around that time, so that could have impacted that. Of course, this year they've got the Nintendo Switch 2 to worry about, so I don't know if they're going to be wanting to announce anything that's not Switch 2 related, and if it is Switch 2 related, they're going to be waiting until the Direct, so I don't think we can expect many brand new game announcements for this one. I think absolute best case scenario would be some more footage of the new Mario Kart game that they've already shown off. If they do, they usually do like a little presentation, I think it's like 5 minutes or something. And maybe they'll just put a little bit of new footage in there, maybe just showing off a new track or a new character or something like that. Or maybe just confirming that it is going to be 24 characters. So that would be absolute best case scenario, because I think there is zero chance they announce a brand new game. I suppose they could tease the new 3D Mario in the same way they teased Mario Kart at the Switch 2 thing, of just some very basic footage. No title, no new game mechanic, just visual representation. Again, I think they'd rather wait for the actual Direct to do that. So along those lines, I don't think there's going to be any new game announcements. Even if it's Switch 1 only, I think at this point they're just going to wait. I mean, like I say, less than 4 weeks to the day that I'm recording this that they'll be having the Direct. It'll be nearly 3 weeks by the time of Mario Day. Do they really gain anything on announcing it earlier? I think so. We could potentially get some kind of just an easy port of an old game. Only thing that comes to mind for me is Mario Galaxy 2. Then if they're releasing a brand new 3D Mario, do they want to release Mario Galaxy 2 in the same year? I wouldn't think so. So I don't think that's likely, but I would personally really like it because I need to play through that again at some point. And then I can't think of anything that needs adding, but if there's anything left for NSO, just to add it back on there, that's an easy win. They can just do it on the day, like Mario Day itself. Like I say, I can't think of anything that's missing off the top of my head. Because they've got all the Mario parties. Anything, it would be something like Smash Brothers, but that's not really a Mario Day thing, that's just Nintendo. So yeah, I don't think even that is likely. I think the only thing we might get is some update on the Mario 2 movie, whatever they're calling it, Super Mario Bros. Movie 2. I think they could show off some new concept art. That's what they showed last year when they officially announced it, was the concept art of them in a desert-looking place. So maybe they'll show some concept art for one of the new characters that's joining, like maybe a Wario or a Daisy or something like that. And potentially some casting announcement. I think that's probably the best bet, is a casting announcement for a new character, or maybe they don't even announce what the character is, but they just say they've got, I don't know, I was going to say Jack Black as a joke, he's already in it. But yeah, somebody like that, they could just announce The Rock. Let's go with him. Has he ever done voice acting? Yeah, he did Moana. I think that's pretty much all and then they've already announced some sales and things like that. Outside of Mario Day itself, obviously we're getting the Switch 2 Direct soon. I think it's an inevitability at this point that they're going to announce a 3D Mario. Maybe they'll surprise us or not. Even if it's not due out anytime soon, I think they want to show something off for it at the presentation of the Switch 2, because they want people to know that, you know, Mario is coming, even though it's obvious. So yeah, we'll see that. I think they'll announce it's coming later. I don't expect it to be a launch title at this point, because that'd only be 2 months maybe of lead up from announcing the game to releasing it. So I don't expect it to come out anytime soon. Maybe late summer, early fall at earliest, but I think it's probably going to be their big title for the year, so it'll be like October, November time, maybe depending on when Pokemon is coming out. I think Pokemon usually comes out in November, but they've kind of said fall so far, so we'll have to see for that one. But yeah, I think around October, November is likely for Mario. Maybe October for Metroid, November for Mario. That sounds good to me. The question is what it's actually going to be. Personally, I kind of want them to just stick to either the Galaxy style or the Odyssey style, but it seems most people are expecting them to be doing a fully like open world kind of thing. I know they kind of teased isn't the right word, but they kind of experimented with that in Bowser's Fury, Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury. I did really enjoy that, so I wouldn't be upset if they announced it as an open world. And I think when we say open world, we have one idea of what that is. I think an open world Mario would be quite different, so I don't think that's really a concern, but I just already love the Galaxy formula, the Odyssey formula, 64 formula, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, just doing something new with that, or even I'd be quite happy if they announced literally Galaxy 3 or Odyssey 2 or whatever they want to call it. Maybe combining some of the mechanics. Maybe it's like Odyssey-like in that it's more open world, but maybe it's Galaxy themed, so with you running like around the planets and things like that. So I guess they wouldn't be kingdoms, but galaxies? I don't know. And then even I would quite like to see the Flood come back at some point, but like make it work properly this time. I think that would actually be really cool. Maybe that could just be its own kingdom or whatever you want to call it within the game, or just a power-up. That could be quite interesting. But yeah, just some way to like, especially with it being the 40th anniversary, I think they could want to be kind of celebrating the whole Mario franchise, kind of in like Astro Bot celebrated PlayStation. So maybe it is like a new Mario game, but then at the end of each world, it's like, oh, this is the 64 themed final level, this is the Sunshine themed one. That'd be really cool. I don't think that Nintendo have ever really done anything like that. Obviously, they're used to like celebrating their past in that, but I don't think they've ever made a game to celebrate their past. They just do like the bundles, like All Stars collections and things like that. But personally, I think it would be really cool if they are doing something new. I just hope it's well done and well thought out. I mean, it's Nintendo, so it will be. But I just do worry that an open world is going to kind of when I think of open world, I often think of like filler content and just like, oh, here's the 50,000 collectibles for you to get, and you go around doing all the stuff that's actually fun. So I just hope they stay away from that. I mean, Odyssey kind of was open world, I guess more open zone you would call it. So if it is just that, but more interconnected, so you can actually like walk from one place to the other, or ride or whatever, then that could be cool. But yeah, I still just worry it would also just make it a bit too big, and I don't want to be playing a Mario game for 100 hours. I think like 20-ish is good to like finish it, and then maybe another 20 to like mop up the last remaining stars or moons or whatever it is. I think there's a good chance the game will prominently feature either Donkey Kong or Yoshi, or potentially both. Donkey Kong seems to be getting a big push with his like basically leading role in the movie. The theme park, they recently released Country Returns. They put all of the country soundtracks on music during the anniversary of Country. And like the redesign in Mario Kart. I wouldn't be surprised if we see like that redesign kind of used in whatever this Mario thing is. If they are, I think that means he would be like a friend, and I kind of want him to be the villain again. I think it'd be cool to be able to not have Bowser as a villain for one game, and to have it back as Donkey Kong, and then they could have a few fights with him themed around the original Donkey Kong game. You've got climb up the things and dodge the barrels to save. Hopefully it'll be Pauline, but maybe Peach or whatever. I think that'd be really cool, but I think it's much more likely to be a friend, maybe even playable. There was those rumors that the Odyssey team was working on I think it was actually a 2D Donkey Kong game, or I think it was unclear whether it was 2D or 3D. So it'd be kind of cool if some wires got crossed and they were actually just working on parts of a Mario game that featured Donkey Kong. So maybe he is playable, and that's what happened there. That could be really cool. But at one point, like, I'd kind of rather they just did a new Donkey Kong 3D game or 2D game. If that's the case, like, I don't really see the benefit of having Mario and Donkey Kong playable in in a Mario game when we already have Donkey Kong games. But maybe there's like a team up kind of aspect or co-op. If it's a co-op thing, I can see that working. Of like they each have different abilities and different ways to get through the levels, or if it is levels. If it's open world like that, then I'm not so sure that they can manage that. But yeah, if it is levels, then I can see them doing different characters can complete the levels in different ways, and that could be fun. I always kind of like the idea of them kind of swapping roles. So you have like Mario going through the jungles and then Donkey Kong going through the Mushroom Kingdom. So maybe it's just like different levels, you have different characters. Again, if it's not open world. As for Yoshi, I think his role would be a lot more obvious. If it is open world, he would be the mount, the horse that you use to get around the place. I also imagine there'd be pipes everywhere to get you places a lot quicker, but just in between zones. Yoshi would be good for that, and then potentially helping you with some puzzles. I imagine they make it so that you can't ride him everywhere, because that would probably make some of the platforming kind of redundant. I think he's likely as well, because obviously he was teased at the end credits of the first movie, so he's probably going to be playing quite a big part in the second movie. And with the second movie coming out next year, maybe they would want to kind of have that cohesion between the game and the movie. And also, I believe it's because Yoshi's like playable in every other 3D Mario game, I believe. So he wasn't in 64, was in Sunshine, not in Galaxy, was in Galaxy 2, not in 3D World, other than was in Odyssey. So maybe not. But unless they broke that, and also Odyssey 1 was a bit strange because it was only like right at the end of the game, like after you'd be in the final boss kind of thing. So I don't know how they count that. That's also just a made-up rule. I doubt they've ever been like, oh, this is the second one, so we have to put Yoshi in. I think it's probably just coincidence. But speaking of the movie playing a role in the future game, I do wonder how what they learned from making the movie is going to impact them making the game. Whether they're gonna, I don't think they'll go as far as using the actual like models from the game, but I hope they do allow Mario to be more expressive, like they have in Mario Kart seemingly, with like the walking of his face and like they did in Wonder as well. That was good. I would be interested, but very cautious of it if they announced they were going to be having full voice acting. Because obviously now they've given Mario a voice, so it'd be less strange and less of a jump to do that. And that could also be why Charles Martinet is no longer going to be voicing him. If they are doing that, I don't know that the guy who voiced him for Wonder and the recent Mario Party and things like that, I don't know if they'd be using him for that. I don't know, getting somebody else. I don't think they'd use Chris Pratt, but it's a possibility. But yeah, I don't think it's impossible for them to be doing voice acting. I mean, they've done it before. Like Sunshine had some voice acting, just not Mario. So maybe they'll do that. And I'm not sure how I feel, but I am kind of getting a little sick of Nintendo games not having voice acting. I remember Super Mario RPG just felt like it should have voice acting, because it just without it, the world kind of just felt like empty. And they can do things like where when the text appears, they do like unique noises for the text appearing to kind of give the character a voice, even if they're not actually voiced. I think Mario I'm less bothered about with it, but I would like to see voice acting become more common for Nintendo games. Zelda's the one I really want it to be. Will we be getting a 2D Mario? I mean, on the Switch 2 eventually at some point, yes. Will it be soon? I'm not so sure. it is soon, I expect it would be Wonder 2, and it would just be like Galaxy 2 was, where it's just the same game but 4 new levels and maybe 1 or 2 new things added to it. Personally, I'd be up for that. I did really like Wonder. It was not my favourite, but I did really enjoy it, so I'd definitely be up for what would essentially be a big level back for it. I'd definitely play for it again and try and 100% it again. I hope the last level wouldn't be so unfair for single players again, because that was, I think it took me multiple hours to do that, and I was very frustrated by the end. But it was still a good fun. Oh, and then I missed the flag and I had to do it all again. Anyway, yeah, so I'd be up for that. I think that's the only way we're getting a 2D Mario anytime soon. If it's going to be a brand new game, it's probably at least 3 years away at this point, probably more. I suppose one exception to that, although I don't count it in the same way, would be if they were to do a Mario Maker 3. Obviously we had 1 on Wii U and then 2 on Switch. And now with the supposed Mousecom support, people are thinking it would be a good fit for Mario Maker, and I definitely agree. So I can see them doing that. I just hope that if they were to do it this time, they'd make... Actually, I don't remember how 2 worked. I didn't play as much with 2, but I remember in 1 it was like really difficult to actually find new levels. You basically had to know the code on that. I'm pretty sure 2 did fix that. But then it was just a bit harder to actually make the levels because you didn't have the nice touchpad of the Wii U. So hopefully the Mousecom support would fix that. And then yeah, if there are just easier ways to find new levels and share levels, that'd be really good. New themes, I would imagine, would definitely be a thing. Like they'd have to have a Wonder theme, right? Surely. Yeah. They let you do Wonder seeds, that'd be cool. But then I feel like the whole of Mario Maker is kind of one big like Wonder seed-esque thing. Yeah, I think that's quite likely that we'll get a Mario Maker 3 at some point during the life of Switch 2. I wouldn't expect it in the first year. I wouldn't expect it in the Switch 2 Direct, unless they do just want to tease it with it being the 40th anniversary of Mario, maybe, but it seems like something they save for later on down the line. Of course, Mario doesn't just do platform games, he's in all sorts. I'm sure we'll get a bevy of titles featuring Mario across the system's life. We've just had a new Mario Party, but I'm sure we'll get one. Is it every other year they come out? Every 3 years or something like that? We had 2 on the Switch, it must be like every 3 years, so yeah, probably in a couple of years we'll get a new Mario Party. I haven't had a chance to play Jamboree yet, but it does look really good. I think the only thing that concerns me with it is the bringing back the partners from Super Mario Party. The way they worked into the original Super Mario Party was kind of broken. I think from what I've seen of Jamboree it's a bit better at least, but I wouldn't mind if they just completely got rid of it, because that does kind of mess it up a bit. Doing another Mario Party Superstars style, like retro game remade kind of thing would also be really cool for me. Maybe do it, the last one was focused on the N64 games, so focus on the GameCube games. I think they're the ones I played the most of. So that would be really nice if we were to do that. They're going to go through all the sports games again, I imagine, and probably a new golf, new tennis, or maybe we'll go back to one of the lesser done ones, like baseball. That could be really nice if they were to do that. But I expect we'll get at least tennis and golf again, and hopefully, I personally like to just see them focus on the single player a lot more, just make it more of a almost RPG-esque in a way. Because I was really disappointed by the tennis single player and never really got very far into the golf one. It did seem better, I think. But yeah, just something to actually keep me engaged and actually play through the whole game this time. The more exciting one for me is whether they're going to be doing new RPGs, whether it be RPG, Paper Mario, or Mario and Luigi. I personally really like a new Paper Mario in the style of Thousand Year Door and 64. And with how they've been treating their RPGs recently, with the 2 remakes and the new game, I think it's quite likely that they were kind of testing the waters for a new game. I don't know that the sales suggest like a Thousand Year Door, a new game, Thousand Year Door, I think it's going to be a huge seller, but hopefully they can see that people do want it, because I know it's sold decently. I wouldn't be opposed to a new Mario and Luigi, but I haven't gotten to Brothership yet. In fact, I've never finished a Mario and Luigi game. I've played 3 of them at this point, but never finished one. I might get Brothership early on in the Switch 2 life if it gets like some kind of performance announcement or anything. And if they don't release 1,000 games too quickly, I might get around to it then. But yeah, it definitely wouldn't be opposed to have that. A new RPG would be very interesting. I feel like there's been something that's kind of teased it. Was there something in the remake that I feel like people have talked about it, at least. And yeah, that would be cool. I don't know if they would need Square Enix to make it or to be on board. I don't know how the legality of all that works. But Square Enix would probably be up for it, especially if Nintendo do the bulk of the financing of it. And then we could get like Geno coming back again. Like I said, I felt like it needed voice acting, so if we were to do an RPG 2, I'd hope they'd add voice acting for the game this time, and also just make it a bit longer. I usually prefer games to be shorter, but RPG did feel like it was just very rapid, like you just got through the game very quick. I'd like to be able to spend a bit more time, not massively, like I think it was about 12 hours or something. I'd like it to be like 20, and then obviously you can do new members. It'd be cool to have new Mario members that weren't in the original as allies, at least, so like Yoshi, Donkey Kong, etc. And then hopefully we'll get something new from Mario, something, I always want to say Tactics because I like Tactics games, but obviously we've had Mario plus Rabbids, so something along those lines, or something I can't even think of right now. Real-time strategy, Warriors maybe? Mushroom Kingdom Warriors, that could be interesting. But I'm sure we'll get all sorts. I'd like to see them let an indie dev do something with Mario, like they did Cadence of Hyrule. I don't have any, prior thoughts about what that should be, but just an indie team that has a really cool idea for Mario game, just let them do it. I think that'd be awesome. Yeah, we're definitely going to be getting a lot of Mario throughout the Switch 2's life, probably multiple games per year. I think that's how it usually goes. So that'll do it for this week. I will be back next week with a birthday special. It's my birthday. It's going to be my birthday next Thursday, so I'll probably get the video up on Wednesday or Thursday. And because it's my birthday, I wanted to talk about Metroid, which is my favourite franchise. So I'm going to be doing a Metroid Mania special, where I'm going to be talking about Metroid Prime 4, naturally, Metroid 6, which I think is almost a guarantee, and Metroid Prime 5. And maybe some other spin-off titles. So thank you for watching this time, and I'll see you next week. Bye.